Hi guys, welcome back. We're going to cover sections B and C today. We're continuing our talk about physical science, really. Kind of an overview of what you'll get in 8th grade, but a lot of these terms will apply throughout this year. So let's talk about force, like Star Wars, like may the force be with you. But in physics, force is any push or pull, okay? If you push on something, if you pull something, you are applying a force to it. There are contact forces and there are field forces. A contact force requires contact. You have to actually touch. We'll talk about some of those when we get into like earthquakes and tectonic plates and stuff. Some common ones are tension, shear, compression, and friction. Okay. There's also field forces. Some forces will extend beyond just the contact and there will be a force field. I know it sounds like science fiction, but electricity, magnetism, and gravity all work through fields. You feel gravity even when you're not touching the surface of the earth. Magnets get close enough together and they slam together or they repel, okay, because of the magnetic field that's being emitted. Gravity is one that we'll talk about a lot. And again, it's just that, oh, there's a typo. It's a force that owls. It pulls things towards the center of the earth, and it's what gives us weight. We talked about that in the last section. Energy is a big one. We'll spend several chapters talking about energy in 8th grade, but energy is a part of the processes that shape the earth as well. Work is what's done when a force causes an object to move. So if I push something and it falls over, I've done work on it. Okay, well, energy is the ability to do that work. You need energy to be able to move things, basically. Okay. The two main types are kinetic and potential energy. Kinetic energy is the energy of motion. If this ball is moving, it is demonstrating kinetic energy. Potential energy is when something has the potential to move. Okay. So I'm holding this ball up away from the ground, which means it has the potential to fall. There's potential energy stored in it. All I have to do is turn my hand and it falls. Okay, I didn't have to actually put any more energy into it. If I throw a ball, I'm transferring energy into it. That's kinetic energy. If something drops or like a spring bounces or like a rubber band stretches, those are all examples of potential energy. We'll talk more about that in 8th grade. All right, this sounds intimidating. It's really not. The first law of thermodynamics. It's basically energy cannot be created or destroyed. You can't get energy from nothing and it's not lost. It's not used up. It's just changed. This is also more commonly referred to as the law of conservation of energy. Okay. Now, all energies, except for nuclear energy, can actually be traced back to the sun. Next year, you'll learn about photosynthesis. That's plants getting energy from the sun. This year, we'll learn about hydroelectric dams. That's a dam using the motion of water to create electricity. Well, water came from the water cycle, which is driven by the sun. So anyway, all the energy we talk about can actually be traced back to the sun. God created the sun, therefore all energy comes from God. Even the nuclear energy, which we're not going to get into because that's pretty complicated. It's like atomic energy. He made the atoms as well. So there you go. Now, there's a lot of different types of specific energy. In that idea that energy can't be created or destroyed, it's just transferred. Okay. So when I move my hands together and I slam them together, I can feel the heat of the friction, but I can also hear the sound. That's, the energy didn't go away. It's not spent. It's changed into different things. Okay. It's changed into heat and sound, so on. So some of the common types are mechanical, like machines, moving parts, thermal, that's heat, sound, obviously electrical, magnetic, chemical. There's a lot of energy stored in chemical bonds and released in chemical reactions. Light contains energy, and then nuclear energy. And this little diagram over on the side there, it's just a way for you to maybe memorize some of these. Use the word melt. And the M is mechanical, E is electrical, L is light, T is thermal, and S is sound. Science is filled with all kinds of little tricks like that to help you memorize things. Okay, short and sweet. That's all I've got for you today. Talk to you later.